Oh, what's this? Hold on. What's going on here? Hello. I got my wires crossed for a change. Welcome to whatever this is, or whatever it will be. Pranabam Bhavanakuma Karavana Pavak Jnanagan Jasuhradaga Vasiram Sarachabda Atulita Baladhama Himmashala Vadeham Nurjavan Krishna Kyaninama Graganyam Sakala Guna Nidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami Pushpadi Kritavarnisham Mashiki Krita Rakshasam Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam Vande Nilatmajam Anjananandaram Viram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapisamakshahantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram Uranga Sindho Salilam Salilam Yashokavahi Janakatmaja Adatane Dadahalanka Namamitam Pranjaliranjanayam Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Vardishtam Vatatmajam Vanarutamukyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam prapadye Anjaneyamati Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham Parijata Taramulavasanam Avehami Pavamananandanam Yatra Yatra Raghunath Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamastakhanjalim Vashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Martinamat Rakshasantakam Guru Bhajananga Bali Hanuman Ki Jai. Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri 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 Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Jai. Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hare. Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai 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 Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, Taram, Taram, Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Taram, Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. 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 Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. So, the repetition of the name. I'm going to read some stuff here. So, what I'm going to read you from things that Maharaji has said. And this is not like something you read in a book that somebody wrote about Indian spiritual practices. This is the words of a being who has fully realized, who is completely free, who has transcended suffering and lives in the hearts of all beings. So it's not philosophy and it's not wishful thinking. These words are actually true. Ram's form, God's form, left this world. Krishna's form left this world, but the name stays. By reciting his name, everything is achieved, everything is accomplished. So, Ram, Krishna, all the great beings, they're not outside of us. It looks like they are to us because we are identified with our bodies, our senses, our thoughts. And so there's an inside and an outside. But it's not like that. So these names, they come from within us and they draw us back into ourself, our true self, our being, our essence, our soul, our Buddha nature. Someone once asked Maharaji, isn't it hypocritical to worship God when you are not sincere in your devotion? Well, that's a good question, because who's really sincere, right? You know, the little bit of practice we do in between episodes of something on TV, or between our few minutes we get after work, or when we're busy, not busy going to movies or eating or drinking or having a wild time. That little bit of practice, is that really sincere? But anyhow, so what did he say? He said, if you can't do it with true feeling, right, and you don't want to do it otherwise, what will you do then? Something is better than nothing. To begin with, one may not be entirely sincere, but in the due course of time, the thoughts get purified and the honesty of intention comes by itself. That's really, that's the good housekeeping seal of approval. I'll read it again. If you can't do it with true feeling and you don't want to do otherwise, then what will you do? Something is better than nothing. To begin with, one may not be entirely sincere. You know, but what does that mean? Well, it means love that doesn't want anything. Love for the sake of love itself. You're not loving someone or something in order to get something, even to get relief from suffering. That's a motive, that's a good motivation, but that's not love for love alone. Being with Maharaji in the body, because I had that blessing, all we wanted was to sit in that love. We didn't want it because of anything. We wanted it because it is. It's like, I don't know what it's like. I don't think it's like anything, because I was going to say it's like wanting to be in the sunlight to get warm, but no. Because the desire to get warm is also the desire to get away from cold. And that's not what this is. This is our own wanting to be who we already are, wanting to taste who we already are and what we already are. So, to begin with, one may not be entirely sincere. We may want to be freed of suffering. We may want to get away from stuff. We want to hold on to something. But in the due course of time, the thoughts will get purified, and the honesty of intention, there we are, comes by itself. We're not capable of being honest. All we have is wants, and likes and dislikes, wants and not wants. Our egos, we can't be honest of intention because the ego will do anything to keep itself together. It'll pretend, it'll imagine its devotion is pure and clean, but it isn't. So he says, the honesty of intention will come by itself, comes from within. And can anyone have a vision of God with naked eyes? One must have divine sight to see him. And a person only gets that after the purification of thoughts. And these practices are all about purifying the thoughts, releasing ourselves from the obsessive flow of stuff that we insanely believe without question all life long. One must have divine sight to see him, and a person only gets it after the purification of thoughts. For this, a sincere life, bhajan, and spiritual practice are essential. Well, we have to kind of transform our lives a little bit. We can't imagine that wasting all our time doing all kinds of nonsense, being lost in our daydreams in our dreamland is going to get us there. Go on reciting Rama or any of the names of God, and one day the true call will come. The true call will come out of us. And at that point, we'll be freed. We'll be saved. Saved from the suffering, saved from the belief that we are separate, saved from the fear that we have that we're going to be hurt, and we're going to be lost, that we have to protect ourselves, and all that stuff that we carry. We can be freed of that through these practices. But you gotta do it. You don't do it. And so he says, do it, even if you have no sincere feelings. Do it. Because it purifies the heart. It opens the heart. It changes us from the inside. It ripens us from within. The ego is not going to do it. We can't create this with our will, but our will can lead us to the practice, can help us practice. And the practice is what brings us the blessings. And like Ramana Maharshi said, asking the mind or the ego to kill the ego is like asking the thief to be the policeman. There'll be a lot of investigation, but no arrest will ever be made. The ego will not kill the ego. But through practice, we can dissolve that false belief of ego-ness. He also said, go on worshiping God in thought, word, and action, and then you will be able to perform nishkam karma. That's things, desireless action is what it means. It means actions done without the attachment or desire and without personal motive and caring about, because that's what he said. How do you find God? Serve others. So that's the deal. Some practice has to be done, and don't worry if you think nothing's happening. That's just thinking. You're planting seeds. You're doing what has to be done. Where is it written that you're supposed to know that you're supposed to feel good about it? That's all stuff. That's just a meta story that we live in, a storyline, a program that's running. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare save a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, so blind, but now I see. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Namo Anjani Nandana, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Anjani Nandana, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai I can't find the run. Give me a second here. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bali, Baba Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bali, Jai Hanuman. Sankatamochana Kopanadhan. Sankatamochana Kopanadhan. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bali, Baba Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bali, Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bali, Baba Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bali, Jai Hanuman. Karuna Sagara Kopanadhan. Karuna Sagara Siaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siaram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai. Kripa karo Gurudev Kenai. Sankartamochana Kripanidhan. Lala Langote La Nishan Siaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siaram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram. 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 Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama 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 Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama 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 Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama 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 Okay. Let's see what's on our mind. So I'm about to leave for the West Coast of the United States. San Diego, LA, Seattle, Portland, and the Bay Area. And then I come back for a while. We do the benefit in Tarrytown for the Tibetan Home of Hope, the orphanage that my dear friends Tashi and Tashi run in Tibet. Beautiful, beautiful situation. Wonderful people. That's on May 16th at Tarrytown Music Hall, I think it's called. And then Memorial Day weekend, we're going back to Yogaville for the first time since before the pandemic, right? Yeah, I think so. It'll be fun. Then the next weekend, we're at Menla with Bob Thurman, Tenzin Bob Thurman, and the whole posse. It'll be great. June, July, I'm touring around Europe, doing a retreat in Greece, in Mani, at Zen Rocks. Beautiful, amazing retreat center. Unbelievably beautiful there. And then at Zurich, Geneva, Amsterdam, Vienna, Paris, London, and all around Germany. Really fantastic. So, okay. Would I share a teaching or teachings that was the most profound for me? Well, Maharaja didn't give a lot of teachings, although he did teach. Things happened, and he would manifest a teaching out of it. But when you think about profound, the first time the Westerners sang the Arti to Maharaji, Jaya Jagadish Hare, was, for me, one of the most profound moments of my life. You know, when I met Ram Dass for the first time in 1968, or early 69, that's when I met Maharaji. And from that moment on, he's been with me. I haven't always been with him, but he's been with me. So, while we were in India, went to India, and after feeling him all the time in America, then I get to India, and then there I am with this body, which at first was very confusing because how did that whole universe fit inside that body? I couldn't figure out how that worked. But eventually I just forgot about it and floated into it, merged into it. So the Westerners had planned to do a Guru Puja, the first Guru Puja by the Westerners ever, because there were only Westerners. We were the first group of Westerners with Maharaji as a group. There were a couple of people before, but we would decide to do this pakka, this really formal puja with the plates and the offerings and the fruit and the sweets and the lights and the whole thing. And we had planned it for Tuesday, I believe, which was Hanuman's Day. And we practicing, KK was teaching us the arti every night. We'd come back from the temple, and KK would come over to the hotel, the Evelyn Hotel, where we were staying with the Shah's family, also devotees of Maharaji. And after dinner, we'd go into the big room, and KK would teach us the arti, all the pronunciation and the melody, and it was just incredible time. And so we arranged for all these sweets and all the special stuff to be brought on Tuesday. And we were going to surprise Maharaji. Right. So on Monday, he comes out of his room, bangs out of his room, the doors bang open, he sits down, he says, "Sing the arti now." It was like he couldn't wait, you know. It was so sweet. And so we ran and got our books, and we sang the arti. And I was standing, I think I remember I was standing behind him. I can't figure out, maybe not. But anyhow, after we sung, he just sat there. Just unmoving. It was with his eyes closed. It was so intense. It was so powerful. You know, he never sat still. He was always creating stuff to distract people, because if you zoomed in on him, it was so powerful. So Dada used to say he had two blankets, a regular external blanket and an inner blanket that he veiled himself for, so he didn't burn us alive. I mean, because the energy was phenomenal. The light was unbelievable. So in that moment after we finished singing, he just sat there, and it was so incredible. And my thought was this. The first thought I had was exactly, quote unquote, "Holy shit. I never thought that I would actually know that I was seeing my guru with my own eyes, that would ever happen. I never believed, I couldn't imagine that I would ever really know this way, because it was a whole other level of knowing that he was my guru. It was one of the most profound moments of my life. You know, there's a bunch of questions here about the guru-disciple relationship, and Westerners are very dull and very deluded in terms of this kind of thing. Maybe it comes from the way we're brought up and the way our society is organized around power, and not around love. It's around power and money, which is power, and power, which is money. And so when we start to think about a guru or spiritual life, we can't help but think that a guru is outside of us, because isn't everything outside of us? The television's outside, the camera's outside, you're looking at me through your screen, that's outside of you. But where is all this? Where are we aware of everything that we think is outside? Inside. That awareness, that consciousness, that presence, that is aware, that's Guru. Guru, God, and your true self are not different. There's no guru outside of you. You may meet a body in which the guru happens to be hanging out in temporarily, but the guru doesn't believe that he's a body or she's a body. She knows who she is. She's not deluded. She doesn't think there's an inside and an outside, that there's a you and a me and a her or a him. She knows we're all one. She experiences that all the time. There's no inside and outside. There's just this oneness, which is bliss, consciousness, truth, reality, Sat Chit Ananda. So when we start to think about what other human beings do to other human beings, how they abuse, how they manipulate, how they use them for their own personal gain, we imagine, because we think a guru is outside, that's what a guru could do or would do, possibly. But it's not possible that a real guru could ever do anything like that, because a real guru knows that they and you are not different. Would you be bad to your toe? No, a toe is a part of your body. Guru, God, self, the individual version of all that, are not different. And so why would a real guru who lives in that world of one, ever do anything to hurt another human being or another being anywhere? How could they? It could never happen. So all these miserable motherfuckers who steal money and fuck their disciples and break up their marriages and take their cars and make a fortune, they could never in 1 billion years be called a guru. That's just the way it is. So, and everybody has a guru because you're here. You're hearing me. You're sitting somewhere. You're aware of your body. You're aware of the sound of the voice. You're aware of all kinds of things. You're here. That here-ness is the guru, but we don't know what that is yet. We're still lost in the little bubbles of foam on the surface of the ocean. We haven't gone to the depths. But when we do, we'll find our own true self. Nothing else. And will be everything else. So this idea of whether guru is contemporary or useful, is there a power thing? It's irrelevant to a real guru, but it's completely relevant to our emotional problems as human beings. It has nothing to do with guru. It has nothing to do with the spiritual path. It has nothing to do with the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas and the great beings and the Sufi saints and the Jewish saints and the Zen priests and nothing. It has only to do with our own emotional problems, yours and mine. That's what we have to clear up, to purify in order to experience what's in here. And what did Maharaji say? Go on repeating the name even without any sincere feelings, because this is the purification practice. This is what purifies our thoughts and releases us from the hold of believing everything we think, every betrayal that's left its scars in our tissue, in our being. This is what heals that. So you kind of have to get with the program there, because we have to see that we're projecting our stuff on the outside world. And we do that with a guru too. For instance, I projected my stuff onto Neem Karoli Baba, and I become totally attached to his body. That was my stuff. He was never attached to my body, because he is my body. He's in my body. He's everywhere. He's Antaryami, the living, indwelling presence in every being. So, but I didn't know. I wanted that body because that's my emotional makeup. So I grabbed onto that body. I held that body. I forgot that he's everywhere, and I experienced only him in that body, in that time, in that place. And when the body disappeared, I wanted to die. But he saved me. He and Siddhima saved me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So, anyhow, I hope I'm not sure where you are, but I hope you hear what I've just said, and I hope it makes some sense to you. In this world, in samsara, everybody uses everybody for everything. We use other people for pleasure. We use other people we cause pain to other people. We use other people to not be lonely. We use other people to feel better about ourselves. We do it's all using everybody. A guru could never be involved with that. Could never use anybody, because a real guru has become the whole universe and everyone and everything in it. And they know that. And all they feel is love and compassion for us who don't know it. So, what else can I say? Could you please tell us about the weeks after you had an experience after being at the ashram when you felt remarkably different? So I guess you're talking about 1995, when I had a very, very deep experience in Kenchi, which essentially changed my life. There's pretty much everything before that and everything after that. Then this person, did I have any suffering during that period, or any suffering that crept back, and how would you describe things as being fundamentally changed within yourself? Well, I was brought into a different consciousness, a different world, in a sense, where everything was open and free and peace and kindness and love, and full of sweetness and space. And words, I can't describe that world, because I'm no longer in that world, or I'm no longer aware of that world and that experience or that state of consciousness as much as I was at that time. And in fact, that experience had a half-life. In other words, it slowly faded. And I remember the day when, about 9 months later, when I went, oh, now it's a memory. Because before that, I could feel it. I could kind of get into it again. It had been fading, but it was still available. And then one day, oh, now it's a memory, where I didn't have access to that state anymore the way I did. However, you're asking about suffering. I don't know what that means. After that experience, things changed a lot for me. And what I saw and felt and experienced in that moment has stayed with me as a baseline, kind of almost like a sound that's always resounding quietly in the background, and everything is kind of inside that sound, but you can't quite hear the sound. I don't know how to explain it. It's not a sound. It's a silent sound. It's the sound of silence, as Paul Simon said. So, how to deal with and interact with human biology and hormones in a way that doesn't distance us from the self. Nothing distances us from the self. The self is who we are. It's inside the self that all this is happening. But we are lost in the stuff. So to say it distances us from the self is not correct. We're always here. Here is the self. Here is the one. But it's not a thought. When I say here is the one, that doesn't mean we're experiencing the one. In fact, they say that the name and what is named, or God, are not different. And so if we really were calling out, the real, like Maharaji said, the real call comes out, we would experience that directly, God directly, that state, that presence, that being. But we're just, like he said, just keep on doing your false Ram Ram. One of these days you'll really call out, and the real Ram will come. So this is the same thing. Nothing can distance us from the self, but we're not aware of it. It's our stuff. It's our identification with all our stuff, and hormones are a big part of it. The older I get, the more I realize how much I've spent my whole life being pushed around by my hormones. It's quite extraordinary. As the hormone level naturally fades as you get older, you begin to see how you thought you were thinking, actually, and making choices, but your hormones were making those choices for you. What to do? We're human beings. We're in bodies. That's part of the program. And it's not bad. It's just what we have to go through, which is why we do practice. A practice is something you keep coming back to. You get used to coming back again, no matter what's pushing you, whether it's a hormone or a program or an emotional thing, what blah, blah, blah. You can still always come back. So you have to practice coming back, because it takes time to get used to what it feels like when you're not totally gone. Maharaji was married. He had 3 children. He had grandchildren. He wasn't, by the time we had met him, he wasn't very involved with the daily life. His son was running the farm and the business that he had. Not Maharaji, but the farm. Maharaji's father had a big farm, but Maharaji had left home. Later on, he went back home and got married and raised a family there, and then but in between, he was always wandering away, wandering off, coming back, going, coming back. But he was a human being. He had, he ate, he slept, he did things, just like us. But not like us. he was a liberated being, free of any kind of identification with what was happening to him, in him. He was present. He was free, enlightened. But still, the body had certain things to do, so it did it. Oh boy, here's one of those. I was born and raised in a spiritual community, and I had a guru even before I was born, but he left the body when I was very young. The person after that, who continued the lineage and was my guru for 15 years, assaulted me, and my parents continued to revere him despite knowing the truth. So I just went on a rant about this 10 minutes ago. I hope you heard that. Since then, the words guru, God, faith, love, family, relationships, and so on, everything has lost meaning. I can't forgive or trust anybody, not even myself. The dark place you speak about, I've been living there all my life. I'm torn between choosing myself or my family. I am so angry all the time that I'm burning. I'm hurting myself from the inside out. I'm in unbearable pain. So when you talk about Maharaji and the love you received from him, it just seems impossible for me to even imagine. I have been reading about him. I'm currently listening to your book. It's like out of nowhere I had this thought of writing to you. I don't know really if there's a question. It just hurts so much, and I don't know if there's any hope or a way out. I'm sorry that you had those experiences. And yeah. And you were born into that situation, which is unfortunate, since it wasn't something that you chose to join. You were already programmed into that situation. So you didn't have a choice at that age. You believed what your parents believed, and then you were taken advantage of by the successor of the guru. And you are burning. There's no question you are burning. But you're still here. You're still here. And this burning is not forever. And someone once told me, the lesson of betrayal, and you have been betrayed, the lesson of betrayal is trust. And I thought about that for years. I mean, what does that mean? And what it means to me is this. We betray our own hearts by looking outside ourselves for answers, by looking outside ourselves for love and affection, for essentially being willing to give ourselves away in order to get some love and affection. In your situation, you were programmed into it from an early age. You have to see that as a karmic fruit. You were born in that situation. You have to realize that there's no blame in that. This is your karmic situation. And it's very hard. It's not that you deserve that. That's not what that means. It just means that for whatever reason, this is where you found yourself. Okay? You didn't find yourself somewhere else. You didn't find yourself somewhere else. You found yourself there. And now you find yourself right here, where you are right now. And it hurts. And what really seems to hurt is that you didn't have a chance to be you, you know? You were told what to believe. You were programmed what to feel. And why would you doubt that? There's no blame for you. You're not to blame. How would you know the difference between this and that if you were born into a situation where everything is just looks a certain way, right? There's no blame there. You haven't done anything wrong. And your parents, well, the fact that they don't honor your suffering is very unfortunate. I don't know why they can't believe you or why they can't honor and accept what you went through. But, you know, they've given themselves away, just like, and they, not like you who had no choice. You were born there. They had a choice and they gave themselves away in order to get what they think was spiritual or whatever this guru was offering or appeared to be offering. So their whole lives are built around a lie, and they don't seem to have the courage, the wisdom, or the kindness to be able to overcome their programming. They're in a cult. This is called a cult. A cult is when you give your own sense of right and wrong away to somebody else. And whatever they tell you is right, and whatever they tell you is wrong is wrong. And your own feelings, you cut them off. You don't listen to them. You don't believe them. They know better than me. So they made a choice to go into that situation. Maybe with the original guru, it wasn't bad. Who knows? But it is now. And they choose to stay in that. And that's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But it's not unusual. And even though you are their child, their whole sense of who they are is locked up in the cult. And unfortunately, they can't get free. And even your suffering doesn't wake them up. Maybe it will. Maybe it will, and maybe this whole drama will keep unfolding in ways we can't know. But you're here, you're hurting, but you're here. And what's more, you know the difference between right and wrong. You just have to remember to be good to yourself and learn to trust yourself again. You've been fooled. You were born in a weird situation, and no blame to you. You have to slowly but gently soften your heart to yourself and let yourself breathe again. Let yourself feel again. Let yourself breathe again. And you can do that. You absolutely can do that. And as you come out of this dark hole, someday you might appreciate the gift of the kind of suffering that you have right now. It happens, believe me, it happens. In my case, I didn't know that I could live out without Maharaj's physical body. And it took me going through tremendous suffering in order to even begin to let myself feel good again. And you can do that. You're here, and you'll always be here. There's nowhere you can go. And these experiences will change, and the anger and the hurt, the anger comes from the hurt. But you've done nothing wrong. You have no reason to hurt yourself now. So learn to be good to yourself a little bit at a time. And trust yourself. The whole lesson of betrayal is trust. Trust in ourselves. So, I wish you all the best. And I think everything will be okay. That's what this world is like. That's what this world is like. But there's also love in this world, because each person in their own deepest place has that love, is that love. And what we do to ourselves, the way we cut ourselves off from that love, the way we find ourselves lost and alone in life, is very sad. But you're not the only one in the world that this has happened to. And as you overcome this betrayal and this pain, who knows, you might be able to help a lot of other people too. So, wish you all the best. And we're going to sing Hanuman Chalisa now. And did you say something about, you reading about him? Yeah, read about him. And if you can learn Hanuman Chalisa or sing Hanuman Chalisa to him, this will help. Just one Chalisa a day, offer him a piece of fruit, and ask him to help you. Ask him to heal you. And ask your own heart to let that happen. Okay? So, all of our hearts are hungry. Every being in the universe and the world is hungry. Hungry for that connection to the love, to the truth, to what is, to overcome suffering and pain. So we're going to sing Burnish Chalisa and the Hungry Heart's Prayer, because all of our hearts are hungry and everyone needs help. Calling out to hungry hearts, everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this body mine, calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time, calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Calling out to hungry hearts, everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this heart of mine. Calling out to hungry spirits, everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Mujammaru Mukuru Sudhari Varano Raghubhara Bimala Jasu Jodayaku Palachari Buddhihin Tanu Janke Sumiron Pavan Kumar Siyaram Balla Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kales Bekar Syavara Ramachanda Pada Jai Sharanam. Jaya Hanuman Gyana Guna Sagar Jaya Kapi Sati Loka Ujana Ramadutta Tulta Baladham Anjani Put Pavana Sutana Mahavira Bikram Bhajarangi Kumatunwara Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varana Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hatta Bajura Ura Dvaja Viraja Kande Munja Jane Usaja Shankara Suvana Kesari Nanda Eja Pratap Mahajagavan Vidyavan Guni Ati Chaturam Kaja Karibe Ko Atur Prabhu Charita Sunibe Ko Rasya Rama Lakhan Sita Manavasi Sukshma Rupa Darisya Hindaka Vikatarupa Daralam Kachara Dima Rupa Dari Asura Sahari Ramachandra Ke Kaja Savari Laya Sanjivana Lakana Jiyaya Shri Raghubir Har Shirda Lai Raghupati Kinhi Bahut Barai Tuma Mama Priya Bharatahi Samabhai Sahasabadan Tumaro Jasagao Asakahi Shri Pati Kanta Lagao Sanakadika Brahma Dimunisa Narada Sharada Sahita Ahisa Yamakuber Digapala jahante, kabhi ko bid khai sake kahante. Tuma upakar sugriva hinkina, Rama milaya Raja padadin. Tumaro mantra vibhishanaman, Lankeshwara mein sab jagajan. Sahasra Jojana Parabanu Dilyotai Madhura Palajan Prabhu Mudrika Vile Mukamai Chaladilange Gaya Charajanahi Durgama Kaja Jagata Kejete Sugam Anugra Tumarete Duare tumara kovar, hotana agya binu pezar. Sab sukala hai tumhari sharana, tumara chakra kahu ko dharan. Apan teja samaro ape, तीनों लोग कहाँ कहते kampe, भूत शासन खत नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासे रोग हरे सब पीर जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीर संकट ते अनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पार राम तपस्वी राजा तीन के काज सकल तुम साज और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोवे अमित जीवन पल पावे चारों युग पर ताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता सबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पास सदा रहो रघुपति के दास तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हर भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरे हनुमत से सर्व सुख करे संकट कटे मिटे सब पीर जो सुमेरे हनुमत बलवीर जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूत ही बंदी महासुख होए वर हनुमान चालीसा होया सिद्धि साखी गणेश तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेर कीजे नाथ हृदय महादेव पवन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप सिया राम राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसौ सुरभूप यावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरण मंगल मूर्ति मारुतनंद सकल अमंगल मूल निखंड मंगल मूर्ति मारुतनंद सकल मंगल मूल निखंड श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Calling out to hungry hearts everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this heart of mine. Calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. So, to help us get over ourselves, to free us from thinking about only ourselves all the time, and to offer our hearts to all beings, we offer this aspiration, this prayer. Loka samasta sukhinam bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhinam bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino 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 bhavantu. all beings be safe. May all of us be happy. May all of us have good health and enough to eat. And may we live at ease of heart, with whatever comes to us in life. Wishing you all the best. I'll be on the road for a while now, and I'll be in India in October. You can find me there. Much love, many Ram Rams. Take good care. Namaste.